Arvoyarns.
That you were working on. This was interesting.
This was a good example of this spirit is alive today. You know, I was interested in, there's a theory of quantum gravity called loop quantum gravity, and one thing that comes up is the fact that, like, you're interested in defining a polyhedron, you know, figure with multiple facets, and, you know, you'd be like, well, how do I know what a polyhedron is? Well, you could say, like, where the vertices are. Well, it turns out, like, another way is to look at, like, all of the
all right, well, don't go too much into detail.
Well, no, it's just all the directions of the arrows in the directions of the faces and the area of the faces. So you can reconstruct a polyhedron if you know the faces and the directions that the faces are in. And, you know, but it's not trivial to reconstruct
so
it.
This is the concave space thing that you were talking to me about.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. So, yeah, so then...
They have to, there's this condition that, you know, all of those little arrows, like if you multiply the little unit arrow that points the direction of the face times the area, the sum of all those has to be 0, which means that the polyhedron is closed.
It's like an interesting thing that Matt was telling me recently. He's like, you're basically working on this program that basically maps space backwards to how we would normally do it. Like, normally, you'd be like, oh, here's Pete. He makes up this space from the outside. But instead, it's actually the way that the thing moves, and by, like, the way that it moves, it tracks the thing in space, and then you build the space from the way that the thing is moving inside of it. Is that it? Or it's the negative. You watch the space around the thing. We watch the space around me to define my actual shape, not the shape itself. Is that was what it was?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like in a broad sense, that's like something
in like a really idiotic,
like it,
like wrong way. That's what it is. But anyway, so you had to,
you had
to reach out to this Italian dude.
Well, he ended up being from. He was Italian, yeah. I mean, I think just from his name, but some guy at like the University of Waterloo, I think, and he was like.
Dude, Waterloo is like one of the biggest coding schools like in the world. They're so recruited.
They have a really good quantum program. So anyway, he just had written a paper where, you know, he just tells you how to reconstruct the polyhedron from the areas, and the unit normals are called. And it was just a funny moment because, like, in the paper, he was like, I uploaded this like Python code that like does it, you know, and I clicked on the link, but he hadn't actually uploaded it. So I emailed him, and he just gave me his code. And it was a beautiful thing, you know. It's just, if you ask, you get it. And, you know, if people have a shared love of truth, then they generally tend not to be stingy with their stuff. They'll just give it to you.
Yeah, it's true. Well...
Arvoyarns.